Lately, I had been waking up feeling like something inside me had been hollowed out. My bones felt brittle, my eyes dry, and my thoughts dragged like they were wading through a bog. Even on nights when I went to bed early, I woke up as if I had not closed my eyes at all. The mornings were the worst, like dragging a corpse from a grave. It was not like me. I used to wake up with a spark filled with energy even after only a few hours of sleep. Now it was like something had been taken from me each night. Medical tests revealed nothing. My doctor seemed puzzled. My blood work was perfect, heart strong, no signs of a virus, no deficiencies. Everything was clean, but I was deteriorating. There was only one thing that had changed: Stephen. Stephen had moved in with me a few weeks ago, my first serious relationship. The first time I had ever shared a bed with someone. It felt intimate at first, comforting even to have him near me in the darkness. He was attentive, gentle. Each night before bed he brought me a mug of chamomile tea. He always made a little ceremony of it. He would smile and kiss my forehead before handing it to me. I thought it was sweet, until the bruises started appearing. One morning I woke to a burning pain in my right hip. I reached down and touched something swollen and throbbing. When I stumbled to the bathroom, I gasped. A deep purple bruise spread over my hip, like a shadowy fingerprint, the kind of injury that looked like I had been beaten with something hard and heavy. I screamed for Stephen. He came in, rubbing his eyes as if I had just woken him from a pleasant dream. I showed him the bruise. His face twitched. "Probably you rolled out of bed or something," he said with a shrug. His tone was so casual, so disconnected, but I saw it, just for a moment. A flicker of guilt, a flash of something darker behind his eyes, something he buried almost immediately. That day, I demanded more tests. My doctor still had no answers, but they suggested I might be under stress and offered to refer me to a specialist. Stephen seemed annoyed when I mentioned the hospital. "You're overreacting," he said. "People get tired, people bruise. You're just making something out of nothing." But it was not nothing. At the hospital, the doctor ran extensive blood work. I waited nervously. A part of me prayed they would find something. Anything. A name for the weight pressing on my chest. When the doctor returned, he looked uncertain. He sat down and looked at me for a long moment before speaking. "I would normally recommend a mild sedative for someone experiencing your symptoms, but, well, according to your labs, you're already on nitrazepam." My heart stopped. I blinked at him, unsure I had heard correctly. "I have never taken anything like that. Not even over-the-counter stuff." He checked again. Positive for nitrazepam, a strong sedative, one often used in psychiatric treatment or for other purposes. The realization grew like mold behind my eyes. That tea, the bitter aftertaste, the heaviness that always followed. Stephen had always insisted on bringing it to me. That night, when he handed me the mug, I smiled as usual and took it. But this time, I walked into the bathroom and poured it all down the drain. I watched the liquid swirl like poison into the pipes. My hands shook as I returned to bed. Stephen climbed in beside me a moment later. "Was it hot enough for you?" he asked, wrapping an arm around me. "Perfect as always," I whispered, heart pounding. He kissed the back of my head. I lay there, still eyes wide open in the darkness. I did not sleep that night. I could not. I felt like I was lying next to a stranger. Worse, a predator. Every breath he took sounded like it was borrowed. Every shift of the mattress made me want to scream. The next morning, I woke groggy despite not drinking the tea, but the room looked wrecked. The dresser was toppled, the bed sheets tangled in a violent knot. The door was ajar, and Stephen was gone. My entire body ached, my arms, legs, ribs. I felt like I had been in a fight. And then came the realization.
If I was going to accuse Stephen of something, I needed proof. If I was wrong, then I was spiraling into madness. But if I was right...
I bought a hidden camera and set it up that evening, discreetly tucked into the bookshelf across from the bed. The lens pointed straight at where I lay each night. I pretended to drink the tea, I kissed Stephen, I said goodnight, and then I lay down, terrified, waiting for sleep to take me. The next morning I woke in pain and my limbs trembled, but this time I had answers waiting. I opened the footage and watched the stillness of the room. At first it was mundane. I turned, I mumbled, I breathed, and then I jolted upright like something had yanked me by invisible strings. What followed chilled my blood. I watched myself crawl out of bed in a jerky, unnatural motion, my limbs twisted like they had no joints. Then I climbed the wall, slowly, crawling vertically like a grotesque insect. My eyes were open, black, unblinking. Then I perched on the ceiling. Stephen lay still, eyes wide open, watching me like this was expected, like he had done this before. He reached beneath the bed and pulled out a wooden staff. The thing that wore my body launched from the ceiling. Stephen fought it, fought me. For nearly an hour he wrestled the thing I became at night. He handcuffed me to the bed, secured me like I was something inhuman. He was not drugging me to harm me, he was drugging me to protect himself. When he came home, I ran to him, I wept, I begged him to explain. He only sighed and gently took my face in his hands.
I thought you knew. The drugs helped a little. You're worse without them.
Why didn't you leave?
Because I've been with worse, he whispered. My last girlfriend tore out her own tongue, so she wouldn't whisper to the things that crawl through the window at night. You're a walk in the park.
And he smiled, not with affection, but with weary relief. And I realized I had never known Stephen at all. But he had known me.
Too well, too long, too deep.
And now it was far too late to leave.